Says we're live. I'm gonna get that off the screen, and I'll go checking it before we go live. Let me make sure on the. Yep, we sound great on Facebook. Holy mackerel! We're bringing some information to you today. It is about the Women of Insurance conference that's coming up. I had Tracie on, I don't know, a month or so ago. I met her through Medicare Misty, who's a sponsor of one of my shows. And Medicare Misty is fantastic locally. If you're needing something, the guy that I co-host the other podcast with, Jeff Stiles, just met with Medicare Misty last Thursday, got his stuff going in the right direction. And so there's the plug for Medicare Misty. But let's talk about this conference with Tracie Wynn. And I just want to go ahead, 3, 2, 1. How you doing, Tracie?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. Last time I had you on, you're a no nonsense person. You're a doer. You were
Yes.
air quote vacationing at the beach, but really what you were doing is you were just working at the beach.
Yeah. I was trying to take a vacation.
Did you vacation like you just take moments on a vacation, right? That's what I used to do.
Right. Well, I mean, if you enjoy what you do, I don't know that you really need a whole vacation from it. And I do. I thoroughly enjoy my work. So,
Well, and not only that, you're in the type of business to where, I mean, when you're a business owner, especially in what you do, it requires you a lot of times. You can't delegate a lot of stuff out in what you do. Sometimes you can.
yes.
All right.
Very true.
Let's talk about this conference you have coming up. We touched on it last time you were on. Why don't you give everybody the details of it? Then I'm going to ask you what people can expect, why you put this thing together, and then we'll go over some pricing and why you chose the date you chose. I think it's all pretty cool.
All right. Sounds good. Well, this event actually came out of my frustration with the industry. I've been in sales my entire life. I've been in insurance for about 10 years. And this is a tough industry to make it in. It's extremely lucrative, but it is really hard to navigate this industry. And it's really easy to get pushed out before you even really have a chance to get started. So one goal with this conference is kind of to be able to, well, let me just say the goal with Women of Insurance in general is to be able to help decrease the turnover that we have in this industry. And that's not just among women, that's in insurance, period. But with this conference, I've kind of taken the things that I didn't really care too much for from other events and removed those and brought in other things that typically only happen with your specific carriers or IMOs or companies and brought those into this event as well. So all of this is really just to help people find out where it is that they fit into this industry. It doesn't matter if you've been in this business for 5 minutes or if you've been in the business for 40 years, there's going to be something that you're going to be able to take away from our event. And then we can talk about some of the topics that have been chosen and why those topics have been chosen. Um, but overall, it's really just about being able to connect on a local level, being able to be exposed to different lines of insurance. And one of the common frustrations that we see is people are just posting and saying, I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm still struggling. Maybe insurance is not for me. When in reality, it absolutely probably is for you. It's just that you might not be in the right line of insurance that matches your skill set. So typically at conferences now, when you see that they're having all lines of insurance, it turns kind of into more of a motivational thing. Not that that's bad, because we definitely need motivation,
Mm-hmm.
but we also need to have the educational piece as well. And I feel like that's something that has been missed when we try to bring all lines of insurance together for events. So with this one, we have breakouts to cover all lines of insurance. A couple of reasons behind that, but one of those is when you see people that are posting, like I mentioned previously, and they're just frustrated with the industry and feel like this is not where they need to be, if they can pop in and out of some of these breakout sessions and just see what it's about to sell a different line of insurance, then maybe they can discover where they actually fit in to this industry. Like life insurance, which is what I do. I've done that for about 10 years. Life insurance is really heavy into recruiting, and it kind of takes a salesperson to really be successful doing that. And you have to know what your skill set is and match that to the line of insurance for you to be able to succeed in this industry. Otherwise, you can struggle for years and wonder, well, why is this other person? They just started, they've only been doing this for a year and they're making X amount of money. And I've been doing this for 5 years and I'm still struggling. when really
Yeah.
maybe all it takes is just switching over to a different line of insurance, and now your entire business takes off.
So two things. First of all, Stephanie Lindre said hello, Tracie K.
Hey,
I mean Tracie K. Wynn. I hope I hope I got her last name right. I apologize if I didn't.
I think it's
Um,
Leandre.
Leandre. Okay.
I could be making it fancy, not intentionally, but I think
Yeah,
that's
oh, that sounded pretty good. I like the way you did it. Well, here's one of the things because you already touched on it. We talked about this a little bit last time. A lot of conferences do end up being motivational and rah, and everybody needs to do that. You need to leave some place like I'm going to kick butt and take names, but
Mhm.
it's really good when you can leave with some practical things that you can implement, or that you just are better at your craft now. That's always really the benefit. If you can get a motivation plus the information, that's the benefit. And you said something that, and I know we touched on it briefly last time, but in certain industries, if you feel like you're on an island, like you mentioned it, if I've been doing this for 2 years, I'm struggling. I'm doing the same things. It doesn't seem to be working. I'm watching the YouTube videos, or I'm going to. It's good to meet other people, though. It's good to meet other islanders, right? That have been on that island that can go, it's okay. I've been down that road. Have you tried this? Have you thought of that? Oh, well, you're a year ahead of where I was. It's just good to be reaffirmed that it's not me all the time.
right, right.
That's
And
good.
hardly ever is it actually the person. It's usually not the person, it's the system, it's the connection, it's the mentorship, it's the products or the services that you're trying to sell or the line that you're trying to sell. It's usually not you.
Yeah, well, that's good to know because especially when you're working on it by yourself in the back room and you can't figure it out and you're the only one. A lot of people start off, I'm the only employee. So I can't fire the person and I
Right.
really can't hire, you know what I'm saying? You're stuck. And now if I can meet other people and grow my network, that I can just pick up a phone every now and then and go, hey, Tracie, I am struggling. What is going on? This is where you make those kind of lifelong connections that you look back on it and go, man, that conference was a really good thing to go to.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about some of the topics because you had mentioned before we came live that not only I think you had 18 speakers, but you've added some new topics. Go in as much detail, or you can be as vague as you want to about some of your speakers and or some of the topics that may let people know what they're getting in for when they sign up for this thing.
Well, we are actually going to be hosting a webinar on Thursday that's going to allow people to be able to meet our speakers ahead of time and learn a little bit about what they're going to be talking about. So I'm pretty excited about that. And it just kind of gives you a preview of what to expect, a little bit of what to expect at our event. And we have two international keynote speakers. Both of the women are absolutely amazing, which is Elise Archer and Sherry Tree. Elise Archer will be going over like scaling your business from 6 to 7+ figures, which is your typical things that you see at conferences and events because it's all about scaling and growing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then of course she'll be the one to give some takeaways prior to us closing out the event. And then we have Sherry Tree, which will be going over her system, which is bank code, and that is on selling to different personality types, which is huge. So in doesn't matter what industry you're in. At the end of the day, if you're working with people, you're selling something.
Yep.
So, there's some sales that are a little more obvious than others, but at the end of the day, sales is what makes the world go around. That's what it is. So, on average, your closing is about 30% for the average person that is in sales. So, being able to have Sherry there and go over bank code and go over just decoding personality types and learning how to sell and communicate and relate to different personality types is huge because typically your closing rate is low because you're able to relate pretty much to one personality type, which is your own.
Right.
And that's great if everybody you meet is like you, but they're not going to be.
What are the odds?
Right. So,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited about both of those topics. And then, of course, we have our industry speakers to come in and speak on life, health, Medicare, retirement planning, and personal PNC as well as commercial PNC. And then, of course, we'll still go over the motivational piece and time management and the things that you typically see. One of the actually two things that we've seen a lot, there's not just in insurance, but in business in general, is how in the world do I hire somebody that I actually want to keep? And then
Mm.
once they become successful, what do I do to keep them? Like that's a constant struggle in a lot of businesses. So that's two topics that we added. One of them is being able to create a culture that people want to be a part of. And that's key because if your business can be doing great, but if you can't keep anybody to work with you, You're going to constantly be struggling, and you're going to constantly struggle to scale past where you are right now. It takes a team to be able to do bigger things.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the next topic that I was going to say is that kind of goes along with that is how to hire and attract top talent, which is another thing. Once I can get these people in and they want to be here and they really enjoy the culture, when they get to a certain level, how do I keep them from leaving? Because that's another thing that happens. People get in, they get to a certain level, and then they're gone. And then you're starting over again. And it's like a never ending cycle. So I'm really excited to be able to have those two topics covered at this event, in addition to the regular topics that we typically talk about.
Well, and two, if you're a small business owner, and I don't know if this will be addressed, but I know if you decide to go to a conference like this, whether it's addressed specifically from the stage, I would encourage people to network like we were talking about, because one of the things that I think small businesses have to learn, and I do small business coaching and sales coaching, is managing. You're great at making the widget, or you're great at selling the insurance, but once you start hiring people, that's a different skill set. That learning to manage people who are not like you is just as important as learning how to sell to people who are not like you,
Yes.
because everybody brings different things to work and to the day after they've had their coffee. Everybody approaches things. You're a doer, and there's people out there that are talker throughers, and you're like, let's just get it done. And there's other people that got to sit and think. And it's just really a skill set, I think, that is learned. You can learn it, but if you just think managing people is going to be an easy thing, it is not an easy thing at all.
No.
Very difficult.
Yes.
The one other thing I was going to say when you were talking about that, if you ever walk into a room and there's a room full of personalities that are just like yours, get out of that room immediately. There's a trip in the matrix. I'd never want to walk into a room where everyone is just like me. That would be a very scary thing. I will give some free advice, and then I want you to tell everybody how to find out about the conference. If you are a small business owner, I say this to my people all the time. I have personally found, and you can confirm this, you're a small business owner, been a successful one for a long time. We have a tendency to cancel appointments with ourselves working on our business before we cancel appointments with anybody else. I will not cancel an appointment with you. I will make sacrifices to meet with you. But if I put on my calendar, work on my business for an hour each week, and if something happens, I get busy, I will cancel that appointment with myself all the time. And I have found that most business owners are not really good about keeping those appointments to make sure they're digging the ditch, but in the right direction. Have you found that too?
Yes, absolutely. And it is extremely important to make sure that you are setting aside time and you actually are keeping that time, because otherwise that again is going to affect you and you're going to stay where you are and you're not going to grow. So there has to be like time management in business or in life in general is key. There's a lot of things going on and you have to prioritize those things and make sure that they are getting done. You have to invest into your business. It can't just all be about clients all the time. You have to learn, you have to grow, you have to, make sure that you have things in order to how they need to be. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah, that's why I tell everybody, it's sometimes digging the ditch is great, but you got to step out and make sure it's going in the right direction still, or you'll end up where you didn't want to be.
Right.
All right, so tell everybody when is the conference?
Well, our event is actually next month. It's June 16th through the 18th, and it is going to be at Gaylord Opryland Resort in Nashville, in Tennessee. So we're super excited about the resort for our future conferences, which will always take place in June. We want to keep with using resorts for our venue for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of people, their time is limited. So if you're able to attend an event and you're able to kind of knock out a couple of things with that one event, a lot of people appreciate that. So for me, this is actually Father's Day weekend. So I will be celebrating my husband, but also I will have my children. We're providing childcare for this event too. But my kids will be there. They'll actually be working the event, and we'll turn it into a family vacation too. So we'll be there before the event starts. We'll be there a little bit after the event ends, and we'll kind of get the celebration for Father's Day from my husband. He's really looking forward to his breakfast in bed and his massage while I am in sessions. So he's excited about that. And then also a family vacation. So my children will at some point be able to enjoy the water park, which they really like going to. And then for me, it will be the general sessions during our event. And then after that, the spa is my favorite place to be. So if anyone is there before or after and you're looking for me, you can most likely find me in the spa.
I just want to see a picture of you sneaking in on your husband when he's getting the massage. He's got the cucumbers on his eyes with the towel around his face.
Right. And he will totally do that.
I would totally do that. Are you kidding me? You know, when you're young and you have an ego as a dude, hey, young guys, let that go. let the ego go, get the massage and the facial. That stuff is awesome. And I understand why ladies like to go get it. I've had a couple of facials and I'm like, whenever you go get one, you're like, yeah, I'll take one of these monthly. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Are you
And they're
kidding?
really good for your skin.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just do it because it's so I just get to sleep. Hey, Stephanie asked, do you plan on doing this conference yearly?
Yes, so we are planning to host this event each year in June. Um, Probably not Father's Day weekend, but it will either be before or after that. We want to keep it. June is when this group started, so we want to keep it in June because we always want to have it as it's kind of like a celebration event.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I miss when you have the industry standard conferences. The one thing that's missed out of those is typically the award ceremony or the prizes and different things like that you have with your specific companies. So with this being an anniversary celebration, we're able to kind of implement that into this event so women are able to get dressed up, and it's a formal event. We have live jazz for this event, which I'm super excited about. So it makes for a perfect great night and a photo opportunity. We'll have a photographer on site. So if you wanted to update your photos, you can absolutely do that at this time. But it will always be in June. It's just going to depend on our anniversary is actually the 17th. So it'll just depend on how that falls within
Yeah.
the month.
How
But yes.
how many people or how many women are involved with the Women of Insurance? Is that's an organization, and then the conference is an outflow of that, correct?
Yes, it is. Our total organization consists of a little more than 15,000 women that work in insurance. And we are US based, and the majority of our members are US, but we will start building in 2024 in the US Virgin Islands as well as Canada. But for now, it's the US. And this is actually our first event. So next June, we'll have it again. Actually, in January, we have a retreat, which will be a cruise, and that will be announced at the event. And that's for our chapter members, which is a different part of our program that allows women to connect a little more on an intimate level or more personal level. That event will be on a smaller scale, but for events for us, you can expect to see the conference in June at some sort of resort throughout the country. We will move around so it's close to someone at everyone at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then our retreat in January, which cruises are something that we're considering for that, or either some type of all-inclusive vacation that's outside of the country.
I'm going to give a shout out to Medicare Misty, one of the guests she's invited. And I bet if she just showed up without even announcing it, y'all would be okay with it. And that's Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, Medicare Misty has literally begged on the air, like, Dolly, this is perfect. We're empowering women. You're it's in Nashville. And so, hey, listen, I've got a lot of friends that know Dolly Parton. So give this out. And if Dolly just shows up, I bet she gets to come on the stage and say hi to everybody.
Yes, we would be totally fine with that.
I,
Everyone
I,
loves Dolly.
huh? What'd you say?
Everyone loves Dolly.
Oh, are you kidding me? Absolutely. She's fantastic. Okay. I think the last thing I was going to give you, is there any pricing updates? Is there anything that I have missed that you want to make sure that people who watch this in the next few weeks know?
Well, our registration is actually ending soon, and we have a current promotion of $248 off on any ticket level. Our Diamond VIP tickets are sold out, but our VIP tickets are available with the discount at $599, and our premium tickets are available with the discount at $399. And then, of course, you can get our tickets simply by going to womenofinsurance.org. There's a registration that will pop up, and it will show you the discount code to use, which on the website is Empower. You can use Nashville. Either one of those will work, and it's going to give you the same type of discount.
I was just going to go through and see child services are available,
Yes.
intentionally featuring only female speakers and trainers, informative breakfast, breakout sessions for all lines of insurance, main stage topics guaranteed to give you what you need to take your business to the next level. Payment plans are available, celebrating the 4th anniversary of Women of Insurance with a formal dinner and live jazz for date night because it's Father's Day weekend. And I was just kind of going through what the website said. I had it pulled up here.
Yes, I appreciate that. One other thing that we've done, I've been in the exhibit at a lot of events. And one thing that I've really not liked about that is you're typically placed out in the hallway and you're kind of waiting for someone to walk past your table. And if they do, they're either going to get food or they're going to the bathroom and they're not really thinking about talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
So for this event, we've actually moved all of our exhibits into our general session. So we're super excited about that and the exhibits that we have and the sponsors that we have participating. But that allows them more of an opportunity to be able to network throughout the entire event, not just during the scheduled session. So during the coffee break that we have, during the grab and go breakfast that we have, they have the full access to the event as well as full access to be able to communicate and network with the attendees throughout. So the goal is to give everyone the opportunity for the highest chance of receiving a positive ROI because we want them to participate again next year.
That's perfect. All right, I encourage everybody to go. And one last shout out: if you are someone that goes, you know what, I have a business that's adjacent. In other words, I want to support women in business, or I have a business that sometimes runs parallel with the insurance company. I want to be a sponsor or support the event some other way. Can they contact you or contact through the same website? Like, hey, I want to be a sponsor of this event.
Yes, there's a contact us form that is online. They could simply send a request there, but it's really anyone can sponsor this event, and then we will in return help promote your business, add your logo, make sure that we do help to get your name out there through email campaigns and different things like that. We definitely want to support our supporters, and it doesn't have to be any certain amount. Anything that you want to put towards what we're doing is greatly appreciated. You don't have to be in insurance. You don't even have to have anything related to insurance to help us. You just want to support women that are in business. We're totally fine with that.
Yeah, I'm going to send this to a couple folks here in Chattanooga that I know are heavily owned and really do a lot of supporting the women's business, and they're owned by women that I know too. Just because I know that they support the different. Every entrepreneur has struggles, so I'm not poo pooing it, and I'm not being political. Every entrepreneur has struggles. Some people come from money, some people don't. Some people are born in cities and in states that are friendlier set up for businesses with taxes.
Right.
But women who own businesses have their own set of unique circumstances that make it difficult to start a business. And I
Yes.
know that some of my friends are super supportive of that. So I'm going to send it to a few of them and see if we can get you some more sponsors, because I know that is a great way to get the word out there and make sure this is, like you said, not only an ROI for the attendees, but for you and the people that are putting the conference on and providing the information.
Yes, it is something that is much needed. And again, the overall goal is just to make it to where more people stay in the insurance industry. So being able to provide the information they need, the support they need, the direction, the transparency, that's our goal, is to be able to keep more people in this industry.
That's fantastic. Hey, thank you for jumping on the video. I hope it goes fantastic. I'll continue to share the next several weeks. And I know your phone's probably gone off 12 times since we've talked.
Thank you, Clint. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Tracie. Bye, everybody.
Bye.